Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've hit the bottom of the hour. My name is Fred Holmes. I'm an independent distributor with ZG International. I currently hold the rank of triple diamond with our company's compensation plan, and it's my privilege to welcome you to our first Millionaires in Training call for 2014. Many of you recognize this is a call that typically David Moses hosts. David is our top income earner, our master distributor, and he asked me if I would continue this week kind of as a follow-through with the previous Millionaires in Training call we had last week, and my distinct privilege to be able to spend a few minutes with you right now. For those of you that joined us last week, you'll recall that we were talking about what leaders do, developing goals. And that's really what this call is all about. It's we call it our Millionaires in Training call. It's our leadership call for ZG International. This is where we take time to spend some time with you and discuss some of the concepts, the philosophies, the mindset that creates leadership within our profession of network marketing. Now, I know a number of you have been invited as guests this evening. I want to share with you that we're not going to spend a lot of time this evening specifically talking about the company, ZG International, the income opportunities, the products. We have a number of calls that we do throughout the week that will be very informative and informational to you, and we encourage you to engage in that as well. This evening, our focus is more on the characteristics and the skill sets and the philosophy that create success, not just within our industry, but in most industries. But we will be, of course, focusing specifically on the profession of network marketing and ZG International. And what I wanted to do this evening is to kind of, come full circle. Last week we had an opportunity to discuss what leaders do when you're at a point in time where you're, ready to close out the chapter, the previous chapter, open up the next one. In this case, close out 2013, and then open up the next book in our progress for 2014. And this is really very, very timely, if you will, because of what's about to happen with ZG International. I've been involved in this profession for many years, and I've had the opportunity to see a number of successful companies. Many companies come and go, and one of the things that a number of us that have had this level of tenure recognize is that when a company can put together the ingredients for success, the high level of experience of the corporate leadership team, products that meet a genuine need, that are first to market, that are unique in the marketplace, and most importantly, products that really work, products that create long-term customer bases, which in turn creates long-term residual income. When you have the third ingredient, timing, this is what creates something very unique in our industry. And I say it's unique because over the 6 to 7 decades that the direct marketing, or if you will, the network marketing industry has been around, been countless numbers, tens of thousands of companies have come and gone. Yet only about 24 companies have stood the test of time. And those true long-term opportunities have followed specific patterns. And that brings us today with ZG International. We are poised at this exact moment at the threshold of what will become one of the most significant growth, series of months of growth with a network marketing company. It's typically that stage of momentum is defined as being somewhere between the first $100 and $200 million year. And when you find a company at that point in time, that's a company that has developed some substance, some stability, they've become profitable, they've got infrastructure, and they've got resources to put back into the development of the distributor base, and that's the point in time where we start to experience an exponential growth. If you will, it's what's commonly referred to as getting in ahead of the wave. And the exciting part is at the time where you can get in with a company that's got that level of stability, but you can get in before the masses. And so what we did last week is we talked about what leaders do in terms of setting long-term goals and then working the numbers backwards to be able to develop a daily method of operation. What we want to do this evening is we want to take a few minutes and talk about moving from goals to results. Because for those of you that are sensing what is about to happen with Zeech International, you'll see the significance of being able to take the goals you've set for yourself and perhaps for your team members, and then translate them into the activities that will create the results you're looking for. And that's what we really want to focus on this evening, is going from goals to actual results. And the first topic this evening is really the foundation of all success. It's taking action. There is absolutely no substitute for taking action. Now, taking action, the exciting thing about making a decision to take action in the development of your business is just by simply getting engaged in activities, that's going to put you ahead of 80% of the people already in the industry. Our business in network marketing, and specifically Zeech International, because there are no requirements for one to get involved. And frankly, from a financial perspective, getting some product on hand to launch your business, even if you were to select, one of the largest packages, an insignificant investment compared to what it takes to create a business. The problem with that is we don't limit people from coming in. Everybody can get involved. And because of that, we find that a lot of people will come into our business and not really give it the serious intention, the serious effort, the serious focus that this kind of business deserves. I'm not the only person in Zeja that has been able to create, frankly, what most would call life-changing income. If you understood the level of prosperity that can come from engaging in this profession with Zeja today, you would take it very seriously. Many people approach this as a hobby. And so really tonight our focus is for those of you that intend to become leaders, to intend to create the higher levels of prosperity. And the exciting thing is that simply taking action will put you ahead of 80% of the people out there. Now, by definition, taking action, you're going to have to look at this scenario where you want to operate doing correct activities. So that would be the first objective, to define, to identify what are correct activities. Because you can spend a lot of time in the development of your Zeja business in activities that do not lead directly to productivity. It's mistaking action for progress. And so let's talk about the specific activities. Identify correct activities that will make a difference in your business. And first and foremost, the first activity is prospecting. It's sharing information. And I will tell you that until such time as you've developed an organization that is already creating an ongoing residual income that meets your goals, you want to stay at one level or another directly involved in what we call stage one activities. Stage one activities is sharing the information, inviting people to learn about our income opportunity. Who do you know would be interested in developing some additional cash flow, or perhaps replacement levels of income, or perhaps moving beyond that and going to life-changing levels of income? The primary activity that's involved in our business is inviting people to get information. It could be inviting somebody to get information about our product. Many of our top income earners started originally as one of our customers. But in today's focus, today's Zeja, those of you that recognize that as great as our products are, probably the number one product we have is our opportunity. And I say that because in today's economic climate, virtually everybody out there desires to have more than what they have. Whether it be, an extra $500 a month, or an extra $5,000 a month, or for many people, an extra $50,000 a month of residual income. These are the things that are available. So, first and foremost, identify correct activities, and for most, the single most important activity is inviting people to get information on all of our products, and as I said, our number one product is opportunity. Now, once you've done that, made that decision to engage in those activities, certainly you want to develop some of the skill sets that are necessary to become effective at sharing information and inviting people to get exposure. And here I encourage you to look at the resources that are available. There's a number of team websites that our leaders have put up that will provide additional development of your skill set in doing invitation. David Moses has developed an excellent CD program. One of the CDs is The Art of the Invitation. In David's team website, oneteamworldwide.com, there's an excellent article in the members only section on using effective invitation scripts. And certainly you won't necessarily use the specific word, but from a conceptual point of view, it helps you understand how to be effective or efficient in developing your skill sets to do that, to be able to engage in correct activities. Now, naturally, once you start to develop a team, the next set of activities becomes being able to provide third-party validation to your new team members' prospects. Starts with you, and then you transition into being that third-party validation. What's one of the most important activities and skill sets you can develop? Learn how to share your story. See, to me, if you recognize that 90% of what it's taken for me personally to build my Zija organization has been inviting people to get information, then sharing my story. Well, if those two activities are going to make up 90% of what we're going to do, doesn't it make sense that you become really good at those two activities? Learn how to provide an effective invitation and learn how to share your story. That ability to develop your 60-second story, to learn how to share it effectively, that will be critical to both your short-term and long-term success. And we have a number of opportunities for you to learn that. We, on a regular basis, conduct a Saturday morning fast start training. And the Saturday morning fast start training specifically discusses how to do the invitation and how to develop and how to share your story. Now, the next topic I want to talk about is scheduling. See, leaders not only develop their skill sets, focus on correct activities, but then they take their business serious. And that's all involved in scheduling. I might even use the term DMO, Daily Method of Operation. If it's a hobby business, then you engage in the activities when it's convenient, when you happen to get around to it. Whether you're just starting Zija today as a brand new distributor and you're going to allocate, 5 or 10 hours a week to your part-time business, or whether you're already well on your way to a replacement level of income, or you've surpassed the six-figure level of income, having a daily method of operation, that's going to be essential to your long-term results. And I want to share something with you that I learned many, many years ago from Jim Rohn. I had the good fortune to spend some time with Jim back in the mid-'80s. And he shared a concept that's been very meaningful and incredibly effective in the development of my own business. The concept was celebrate or fix. And what he talked about was a daily method of operation to make sure that you were engaging in correct activities and that you had measurable results. And one of the things Jim shared is there's, in the overall scheme of things, rarely is there more than maybe 5 or 6 things that would make a material difference in your business. 5 or 6 things will generally make the greatest difference in anything. Now, in our particular profession, let's talk about 5 or 6 things that will make a material difference in your business tomorrow. That might be, 1 or 2 of those might be developing a list of people that you're going to speak to. Create a short list, 5, 6, 8, 10 people to talk to. Then, make a point of determining who you're going to talk to the following day. And that you might have 2 invitation calls as being part of the 6 things that would make a difference. If you've been talking with people, then naturally a couple of things you'll need to do tomorrow would be to do follow-up calls. Maybe one of the activities would be to engage in one of the conference calls we have for your own personal information and skill set development. But what's important is to work your business just like you work a job. See, when you wake up in the morning to go to your job, you don't have to decide what time to go to work. You already know what time to go to work, so therefore you know what time to get up. And when you get to work, you know exactly what you're going to do, and you know exactly when your first break is, and when your lunch is, and what activities need to be done, and when you're going to go home. Work your business like it is at least as important as your job. And so what Jim Rohn suggested is you start the evening before you go to bed. Take a couple of minutes. Jot down 5 or 6 activities that would make a material difference in your business. And then here's the trick. Schedule them. Schedule those 5 or 6 activities. And this isn't about having 2 or 3 hours of free time in your day to do each. This could be as simple as, scheduling your first call, an invitation call to get some information, and define who it is. I'm going to talk to John, and I write down his phone number, and I schedule it for 8:15 in the morning. Why 8:15 in the morning? Because I got to be at work by 8:30, and I can make that call as I'm driving to work. And then maybe the next call is scheduled a follow-up call at 10 in the morning, your first break. And then maybe you're going to schedule 30 minutes in the evening, 8:30 in the evening, to listen to an information call that will help you improve your ability to share the product, share the opportunity. Or maybe it's a Monday night call and you have an opportunity to hear David Moses talk about the higher level concepts that leaders develop. But put your schedule in writing. Identify the 5 or 6 things you're going to do. Then schedule those activities. Then you go to sleep. Now the magic is when you wake up in the morning, your activities for your Zija business have already been set in place. And all night long, you're subconsciously working on that. Now when you wake up in the morning, you follow your schedule. You complete those 5 or 6 activities, and literally you could have invested maybe, 60 minutes, 90 minutes in your Zija business, but you did it in 15-minute increments throughout the day in the time that was available to you. See, that's the magic of Zija. Everybody can start where they are today and build something of true significance for themselves and their family and their financial future, and they can do it within the time that's available. Now, at the end of the day, this is what Jim Rohn called the concept of celebrate or fix. At the end of the day, before you go to bed, now you're going to do 2 things. You're going to analyze your results from the day, and then you're going to schedule the following day. Now, here's what's going to happen. One of 2 things is going to happen. Either you will have completed your assigned task, the task that you assigned for yourself, for your business, in which case you celebrate. And it should be something meaningful, It could be as simple as, maybe staying up another 15 minutes to watch the opening monologue for The Daily Show or what have you. Something that is a little treat. For me, it could be as simple as doing a little dance. Oh yeah, I did it. Oh yeah, I did it. Something that creates in your mind a celebration. Now, if you didn't accomplish what your goals were for that day, then you have to fix it. Here's the cool part, okay? The fixed part, it will always, always, always be attributable to one of two things. Either you were estimating your capacity to accomplish things within the time that was available. Okay, for instance, if one of those 5 or 6 items was, I'm going to call 27 people. Well, that one item maybe was a little bit more than what was realistic. You either overestimated your capacity to accomplish within the time that was available to you, or you failed to keep your schedule. There's really no other options. And the exciting thing about that is that you can fix it on a day-to-day basis. So, in terms of, building your business, a daily method of operation, you want to focus on running your business like it's a business. Don't for 1 second take this opportunity any less serious than people like myself and David Moses and Chris Estes and some of the company's top income earners. I heard a number of our very successful diamond and above leaders joining the call this evening. That should kind of give you a clue. Why are some of our top income earners on a Monday night call? Because they understand the principles of success in our business. And finally, let's talk about the last item on my list of things to talk about this evening, which is the results. See, ultimately, no matter what it is we do, no matter what it is, what schedules we keep, the activities we're involved in, nothing supersedes results. Because ultimately, that's the point of being here. If this was just a hobby, if this was something you could do for fun, then that's fine. I think that's wonderful. We have a lot of people that are involved in Zija, and they make some supplemental income, but for them, they do it because it's fun. And I understand that. We're fun people. People generally speaking in Zija are upbeat, they're positive, they're engaged, they have some vibrance to their life. Let's face it, we're a bunch of very healthy, active, good-looking people. And why wouldn't people want to hang around with us? I believe that many of you are on this call this evening because you're looking for true long-term financial security, and many of you are looking for financial abundance. And you have to be focused on the results because there is no substitute for making sure you're doing correct activities, that you have a daily method of operation to get you to your goals, and then you have to specifically be focused on measuring results. And measuring results, they do have to be quantitative. So for instance, the results you may be measuring will be income, could be sales volume, could be rank advancement. One of the ways to create measurable results is something that many of us have been exposed to over the years in this industry. We call it the 90-day game plan. The 90-day game plan, for all practical intents and purposes, it's a daily game plan that you exercise 90 times in a row. A daily method of operation, but focusing on a 90-day time frame. Now, that 90-day time frame allows you to proceed in correct activities, developing your skill sets, and have something that is measurable, because you can't really judge results based on what you did today. The activities you engage in today, you're not going to see the results of today. Might be tomorrow. Might be next week. The things you do this week, you may not see the results of them until next month. That is the nature of building a business. You cannot translate one call into X amount of sales volume. It takes time. The 90-day game plan allows you to focus on correct activities on a daily basis and have a reasonable amount of time to, that you can anticipate results and then measure those results. Now, some keys for those of you both just starting out, and for those of you that maybe have already built a fairly successful Zija business, and today you're recognizing the kind of growth that's about to take place over the next couple of years with Zeech, and you want to move your business to a higher level. Let me give you a couple of tips. Okay? Results are predictable based upon activities. So be sure you're doing correct activities. Be sure that your focus is on development of business. Now, one of the things that we all tend to do is we tend to look at our pin rank advancement. What I'm going to share with you is the key for you accomplishing your goals. You know, perhaps you want to be a gold distributor, be qualified for the Mercedes-Benz program. Maybe you want to move to the emerald level distributor and be in qualification for the profit-sharing program. Maybe you want to be a diamond distributor and generating a residual six-figure income. Let me share with you the most important thing that you can focus on. It's not your pin rank advancement, but the development of your team members. Now, I'll give you a quick little scenario. If you want to be a diamond distributor, you want to create that six-figure residual income. The fastest way to get to diamond is to not worry about getting to diamond. Focus on developing 2 emerald distributors within your organization. If you had 2 emerald distributors in your organization, that would automatically, by definition, actually elevate you to the double diamond position in Zeech. But rather than focusing on developing 2 emeralds, get beneath those 2 team members. Help them develop 2 platinum distributors each. 2 platinum distributors would actually move those emeralds to diamond. How do you develop a platinum distributor? Help them develop 2 gold distributors, 1 in each leg. By definition, that new distributor would be a platinum if they had 2 gold distributors, and so on. You know, how do you get people to gold? Help them develop a couple of silvers. How do you get people to silver? Help them develop a couple of bronzes. And folks, this is the magic of our business. If your focus is on developing the entry-level people, dig deep and down beneath your leaders and get into their leaders, and dig down below those leaders and get into their leaders. And what are you going to be working with on those people? Things we've just been talking about this evening. Making sure that they've set some goals, that they are attainable and measurable. Then get into action with them. Help them develop their skill sets while they are operating in correct activities. What are the correct activities? Certainly in the beginning, they're pretty much just the activities of invitation and sharing your story. And help them develop those skill sets. And then focus on helping them develop schedules, a daily method of operation. Because that will then lead to the final topic that we had this evening, which is the results. If you're here this evening and your goal is to make 2014 your breakthrough year, whether it be you're a distributor that's been with us for a while, maybe you've been moving up the ranks, you're now a gold, maybe you're a platinum, and this is the year you're going to break through to diamond and above. Or if you're a brand new distributor that just started with us, and your goal is to create a replacement level of income over the next 12 to 18 months, folks, this is the time to focus on the things that we've been speaking about this evening, and the number one way to do that is to develop others. If there's a single thing that is the key to success of all of our company's income earners, it is in their willingness to forego their success and focus on the development of others' success. And all I can tell you, folks, is if you care more about your new person creating their paycheck than you care about your own, the money will track you down like a bloodhound. I guarantee it. It's one of the most important things in our business, and it's the one thing I can guarantee you. When you help enough people achieve their goals, then true financial success and abundance is it's just guaranteed to you. So With that, folks, I've gone a minute over my allotted time. I apologize, but as I'm sure you recognize, I'm very, very passionate about the things that I share on these calls. Certainly a shout out and a thank you to David Moses for letting me be able to participate in this call this evening. A couple of program notes. We're going to have we'll be going back to our regularly scheduled events now that we've gotten past the holidays. We will have a major product information call on Wednesday evening. That'll be hosted by Pat Anderson. We will have two business presentation calls, one tomorrow evening and the other one on Thursday evening. I will actually be hosting the one on Thursday evening. So we have opportunities to give you our guests and our new distributors the information they were looking for this evening. And with that, I'm going to open up the lines. Thank you very much for joining us on the call, and I'll look forward to seeing you all in the near future and perhaps an event in your local area. With that, the lines are open.